Hello out there, you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear listening into another Pitch for Switch video. And this time I'm going to be talking about the Metroid Prime Trilogy for the Switch and why I think it would be a good idea to put it on the Switch. Firstly, the groundwork has already been done for it when it was released on the Wii a long time ago. And yes, it did see a re-release on the Nintendo Wii U as a part of the Wii Virtual Console. All of the groundwork for this title has already been done with the motion controls. And all they would really truly have to do is go back in and add in the standardized controls from Metroid Prime 1 and 2 from the GameCube. And I don't see that as being a completely complicated system for Nintendo to work out. And on top of that, they could also add in the gyro assisted controls from Splatoon. Again, all of this is stuff that Nintendo's teams know how to do. And they would be able to make this game be fun, playable, and exciting for a ton of people. Now, big problem here is that a lot of people don't purchase Metroid, even though they complain that they want it. The big portion of the fan base doesn't purchase it. So all of you Switch owners that are complaining that you want Metroid, you better go buy this game if it happens. I have a strong suspicion it is going to happen because Prime 4 was delayed. But that isn't really the real reason that I even decided to make this video. The real reason that I decided to make this video was because of actually Labo VR. And anybody who knows what Labo VR is understands exactly why I just mentioned it. So, and I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time, this audio was recorded weeks ago. So if by chance I put out a Labo VR video that comes out before this, because I'm thinking about doing it, I had already recorded this. For anybody who listened to that, I had already recorded this before that was recorded. So, because I have a feeling somebody's going to mention Metroid Prime Trilogy and VR in the comments section of that, I already got you covered. But that was the point. With Labo VR, they could add VR support to this game. And that's the most interesting thing for it, where you could be totally immersed in the game from the first person perspective with VR controls. Now, granted, I'm not the biggest proponent of VR because I don't like the idea of you being fully cut off from the world in order to be immersed in the game world. But with Labo VR, you don't actually do that because your ears are left open to hearing things. And I think that was done specifically for a reason by Nintendo. But that said, it gives you the opportunity to see and view the game world as if you were inside of it. And that could be a major, major thing for the Metroid series. I know I would enjoy it personally. And I think a lot of people could get behind it. And this is something like that Nintendo is going to be doing. By the time this is released, it'll probably already be out, but there'll be patches for Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey that allow you to play those games in VR mode, even though they really don't need them. Like, to be fully honest, they really truly don't need them. But the concept is interesting enough. But me looking at it, I'm like, ooh, VR for these? And then think of any first-person shooter I've already talked about for the Switch. For third parties, they could just patch in the VR mode. Honestly, you probably wouldn't even have to patch in the VR mode because I think all you'd really literally have to do is put the Switch in the Labo VR headset and just play the game. No, they would have to patch in the VR mode because I believe you still have to have Joy-Cons attached to the Switch in order to do this because that's what activates the motion controls and the gyro. So you would need it. So they would have to have a VR mode because you'd have to have separate controller to be able to play the game. Sorry, I'm running this through my mind all at the same time. But either way, it would be fun. And I think the inclusion of a VR mode for people who have played the Metroid Prime trilogy before, this gives them a new angle to enter into playing the game and gives them a reason legitimately to want to purchase it. Outside of just being extreme Metroid fans and they were going to go ahead and purchase it anyway, like Liger. But still, it would be, I think, honestly, it is just a new dynamic that could improve the game and could be an interesting selling point for it, for them to put out the trilogy. And it could be a really well-needed demonstration of how Metroid Prime 4 would play with VR. Because I have no doubt in my mind that Nintendo's going to fucking make a VR mode for that game. I have no doubt in my mind that that's exactly what they plan to do. So, I mean, just thinking about it, it would be the intelligent thing to do. And on top of that, it would generate buzz for the upcoming Metroid game. So I could see Nintendo working with Tantalus to try to set this up and get it going. Because Tantalus is great with porting games over to Nintendo hardware. They do a lot of good work. So to me, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but to me, it makes a lot of sense. But I'm not going to press on too much longer with this. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out, everybody.